Hi, my name is Nicolai Lehnert, and I'm originally from Germany, but I now work in the United States in Michigan at the University of Michigan, which is in Ann Arbor. And I work in the area of bioinorganic chemistry. And I'm now a full professor there. Yeah, so I work in bioinorganic chemistry, so I'm really interested in metalloenzymes and how they work and what the mechanisms are, and looking at reactions that they catalyze, and in particular related to nitric oxide, which is a very important molecule in human physiology and also in the nitrogen cycle. And so we do this with model complexes to trying to understand reactions, a lot of spectroscopy. And what I'm teaching here at the workshop is exactly related to this. So most of my modules are on different spectroscopic methods that we use, like EPR spectroscopy, MCD spectroscopy, and Mössbauer spectroscopy. And then also I taught one module on nitric oxide and its role in human physiology and human health. So certainly nitric oxide has a big role in the nitrogen cycle, right? So the nitrogen cycle is essentially a summary of all these different forms of nitrogen interconvert in the environment, and is related to agriculture. So as we fertilize our fields, trying to grow crops and feed our people, we have to put fertilizer out there, but a lot of this fertilizer is metabolized by microbes, fungi that live in the soil, and they essentially oxidize the fertilizer, the ammonia, to nitrate and nitrite. Nitrate is a big problem in water pollution, so this is one aspect of sustainability, right? That is difficult to tackle because we need fertilizer, but we're making a lot of pollution in this process. So one thing that we're working on is in ways how we can remediate nitrate pollution by reducing it back to ammonia. And then another pathway is denitrification, where essentially these oxidized forms of nitrogen are reduced back down to nitrous oxide and dinitrogen, and that puts a lot of nitrous oxide in the atmosphere, which is an important greenhouse gas and also ozone-destroying agent, right? And so a lot of the nitrogen cycle chemistry involves nitric oxide, and a lot of it is related to sustainability. I think the event is a lot of fun for me as a teacher, talking to the students and teaching them some interesting things. But I think it's also important for the students. Then I think they're learning a lot here at the workshop, and there's many different things going on for students being interested in different topics. And I think it's also good to have this kind of interaction of students with maybe scientists from other countries, and science is very international. And the problems that we're working on, we're all working on together in some way, right? So I think it's really nice for the students to, become part of that larger community, by having people here from outside the country. And, from a practical point of view, it, encourages students to practice their English. And English is the language of science, so that is also good for the students as well, right? So I think overall, this is an excellent event. And yeah, I hope it will continue, and maybe one day I'll be invited back. Maybe.